What's going on, guys? It's not that cold outside, but I had these jackets in my car. My car had to bring them inside, but you know, kind of want to talk to you guys just for a minute. I wasn't gonna like video or make anything today. If you want to see a vlog, come back in a couple of days, or I don't know, I'll have something soon. But you know, I was in training today and I had a moment. Like I had a moment, like something, and it triggered something inside me. Well, actually, before I talk, this is like, I'm not like narcissistic in love with myself. I love myself, but this is actually like a gift. Tony, if you're watching this, thank you so much for this. It was one of the most amazing gifts that I got since being a YouTube creator. Yeah, and that must have taken so much time, so I appreciate it. Thank you, Tony. Put it right here in my house. But no, I had a moment today in training, and in this moment, it was like a flashback to like when I was younger and coming up and growing up. And you know, I wanted to share this with you because I feel like if it just helps one person, then it's worth posting this. And I really never really talked about this, but I feel like if I can tell you guys, I was gonna rehearse it, what I was gonna say, but I was like, let me just turn the camera on and just talk, you know. Basically what happened today in training is we do drills. We do drills all the time. We're playing to see who would win. We do a lot of drills all the time in training, and in these drills, you know, there's always we're keeping score. We're playing to 16 points, we're playing to 20 points, something like this. And we did maybe 10 of those today. But there was one drill we did, and we were down 1 point. The next person who scored won. And I drove to the basket, and I went up for a shot, and I got hit. And I switched to the other side of the basket and laid the ball up, and it was a very tough shot with a foul, and I made it for the game winner. And I'm not talking about the game winner. This stuff happens all the time in training. It wasn't a big deal, but what it triggered was when I made this tough shot, like I came down, I was like, man, that was a hard foul, but we won. And everyone was tired because we've been doing this drill for a long time. I turned around and looked, and everyone was like walking to get water because it's water break after the drill. And you know, it just brought a flashback at that moment that I hope will like make you understand me a little bit more as well, because I'm sure you guys have been through the same situation where you do something that's like amazing, like you do it and you're just like, yeah, like I did it. And you look around and no one says anything about it. You know, the only way I can really compare it for you guys to really understand is like you get a new outfit and a new hairdo and everything's done, and you go out the first day and no one says anything about it. And you know that feeling where you're just like, man, I wish someone would have noticed. What it really brought out of me was like when I was coming up, you know, like when I was starting out playing basketball. And you know, YouTube is so parallel to how it starts out that it seems so familiar, making YouTube videos and starting out at the beginning of making videos and starting out trying to be a pro athlete. It's very similar, and the chances are so small, just like being a pro athlete. And I remember, like, I do these awesome things when I was growing up. When I was 16, 17, I'd have these big accomplishments, and I felt like I should get credit from someone, or someone should be happy for me. Someone should be super happy for me that, hey, I was player of the week this week. And a lot of the people who I thought the praise should have come from, it wasn't from them, you know. And I guess, you know, I don't know, I never really talked about it, but, you know, because now I look at my life now and, you know, I see things so differently, and I go through the things that I go through today. But thinking back to when I was younger and you know, coming up in basketball, and people just told me I couldn't hit it all the time. You hear that all the time, and you're too short, you're too slow, you're not the kind of person we're looking for, you're not doing all this kind of stuff. And you know, if I have to tell you guys one thing, it's like you have to be your #1 fan. Like, you have to be your #1 fan no matter what. No matter what happens, you gotta be your #1 fan. You know, and people make such a big deal about it for you loving yourself or you liking yourself, but you have to be your #1 fan. You know, as I made that shot and I came down, I was like, whoa, people should be saying like, good shot. And they didn't. And all of a sudden it was a moment of happiness, and looked around and nobody was like, yeah. And I just was like, my happiness went away when it shouldn't have. You know, when I was younger, it went away and I got down, like I can't do this. Because people would be like, hey Luke, you can't do this, you can't do that. And I did it, I worked on it, came back and did it. and then I showed them I could do it, and then they didn't say anything, and then that bothered me because I'm like, they should be saying good job, like they told me I couldn't, and now I can. And I was looking for that everywhere, you know, coming up when you're younger. You're looking for that person saying, hey, you did a great job, hey, you did a good job, or you're looking for that, you know, especially when you have these big accomplishments or big milestones that might not seem big in other people's eyes, but to you, they always got to be big. You got to be your biggest fan. You know, and I remember tonight when it happened in training, in my mind I was like, man, Luke, that was a tough shot. Good job, man. Good job. But that voice wasn't there for me all the time. And in fact, it wasn't there for me most of the time. You know, people tend to only see when you arrive at the top of Mount Everest. And you go to hike up this enormous, they say impossible mountain. Well, now thousands of people have done it, but people said it was impossible. And, you know, the hardest parts of them are the journey there. You know, you go up to the base, and you have another base camp, you have another base camp, then you have the summit. You know, and it's like sometimes people only see you when you're at those base camps, and they congratulate you, hey, you got to this base camp. But what people don't see is the journey that's in between getting to those base camps, the journey in between the next base camp, and then the journey from there to the top. You know, and if you can't be your biggest cheerleader, or you're waiting to arrive in one of those base camps for people to cheer you on, then the journey's gonna be 1,000 times more difficult than it already is. You know, so if I had to just get this off my chest, and I feel like I had to tell you guys about it. I made a podcast episode about it, but I felt like it was something that some one of you guys needed to hear, who don't get a chance to listen to it or haven't listened to it, that I had to put it on the channel. And it's like, guys, you gotta be your #1 fan no matter what people are saying to you, no matter how many people say you can't do it. Like, it doesn't matter. It's only what you believe. If you believe you can't, then you can't. If you believe you can, then give it your all. Give everything you have, everything you can do. Like me being a pro athlete, what I guess one of the reasons making this video is because people say, oh, you're so lucky, or like, you know, people say stuff like this, and it just bothers me every time because they have no idea how many times I was in between those base camps stuck and had to just find my own way. I had to figure it out all by myself. I had to fight through those storms, set up my camp, my tent all by myself. And just so much time just to be seen at that base camp. But it's the journey along the way. That's when you need to be your #1 fan. When you make it to the top, you're gonna have people come out of everywhere saying, great job, great job. But if you're not your #1 fan, when you're in between these base camps, going from this level to that next level where you don't see anyone, where you don't have that motivation, you're working in a quiet office, you're working when everyone's asleep, you're staying in the weekends, when you're really grinding for it, stay with it, believe in it, always keep going, like I always tell you guys. And I think that's just like the thought that I had to get out and tell you guys today. So, I mean, be your #1 fan, guys. Be your #1 fan. You don't have to tell anyone, but inside, know that you're your #1 fan. No matter what you do, no matter what happens, you are your #1 fan. And I think that will get you through so much, because it's the journey. It's in between those base camps. That's where the real fight is. That's where the real journey is. Making it to the top is being at the top. But to get there, all those processes, you have to do it. You gotta be your #1 fan, or else you'll never arrive at that base camp, or that next base camp, or that next base camp. So, be your #1 fan. I hope this video, if it helped, I just hope it helped one person. If it helped one person, then I feel 1,000 times better. Or if you have anything to add to this, please leave in the comments below. I'm gonna stay around on this. As soon as I post this, I'll be around the comments for like 10-15 minutes. Leave a comment. I'll get back to you guys right away. And just thank you guys for listening. You guys who are here and listening all the time. I can never thank you enough. Had to get that out. I feel a lot better. So guys, I'm gonna go. Gotta put my food away, have my smoothie, relax, have an early training tomorrow. I'll talk to you guys later. Hope the sun is out. Hope you're having a beautiful day wherever you are in the world. And everyone always remember to work hard, be brave, and don't forget to smile. Ciao.